Welcome to this video. My name is Christian from Being Premiere, and we're only 2 episodes to the finale, and episode 9, Revelation chapter 1, is around the corner. And based on these preview images, I'm kinda worried that we're gonna only get some search parties going on. I mean, after that insane ending to episode 8, I'm expecting something more, but it's too early to call. Let's discuss the synopsis, the images, and the trailer. Welcome and let's begin. Okay, so the synopsis is the following. Tensions are at an all-time high as the town residents learn that one of their own has gone missing. But we already knew that, so remember how we left off with Fatima's gone, and now the images. We have Elgin acting shady, Victor's having a full-down meltdown, and the town is on the brink of chaos. So this is how I see the episode play out. Fatima is gone, and Boyd and Alice have to find her. However, they cannot do it alone, which brings us to those images of Donna talking with Boyd. I imagine Donna is going to tell him about bringing everyone together. Then we have the diner where we see that Matthew's family eating. Again, it's open now that Bacta reopened it, so she's the new person in charge of the diner. Then we see Boyd ringing that bell. Another town meeting. Now look, I want to be wrong, I really do, but episode 9 needs to deliver more than just setup. Revelation chapter 1 cannot be another chapter like episode 7 in this endless cycle of questions. So we need answers, and going from the images, my hope is low. We need to know what's going on with Fatima and what Elgin is really up to and where the hell this story is actually going. And again, going from the images is going to be a lot of looking for Fatima. But yeah, let's start with the most obvious and potentially most frustrating part and aspect of this preview images, and that is the search party. I mean, searching for a missing person in this town. I mean, we have so many bigger mysteries than they decide to do this. The thing is, this search for Fatima is not just about finding her, it's also about the town reacting to whatever Boyd is going to say to them.
Fatima is missing. They think that we don't have what it takes to find her. We are taking our lives back.
I mean, somebody dies and Fatima is gone. It's like she did it, but nobody's going to say this or like connect the dots. But obviously you can bet that Boyd's leadership is going to be tested again. Now here's what I'm hoping for this episode, and it's that maybe while they're discovering and looking for Fatima, they get some answers, maybe a clue about the children, a new symbol, a connection to the faraway trace, anything to move the series forward. I mean, episode 8 was really good, so hopefully episode 9 can be like this. So what we can see from the images is people calling out Fatima's name and finding nothing. And honestly, we deserve more than that. Another image is that we have, and that is Victor, because we have an image of him where he is destroying his room. And we can see how he's having a meltdown. It's like Victor's realizing that his mom was not crazy after all. Is finally understanding that he was chosen, just like Tabitha, to save those creepy kids. And the worst part, he might have been the one who set her on that path, the path that led her to her death. Think about it. Victor told his mom about the children, about the faraway trace. He thought he was helping, but he might have just sealed her fate. And now Tabitha is following that. His theory is repeating itself, and Victor is stuck watching it happen, powerless to change anything. And now the town is using this search for Fatima to push Victor to more of his breaking point. I mean, he's going to be alone going from the images, so maybe. So it's possible. And in the images, he's like throwing stuff out of the window, and I imagine he's gonna be like, if I get rid of this, maybe I can get rid of the pain, the guilt, the memories. But in from, you cannot escape your past that easily. Which connects to another image of Acosta and Kenny in the kitchen. And that got me worried as well. Maybe Victor is doing something. I mean, Victor's in a dark place right now. Now, one of the huge aspects of that scene, and again, I said that Victor was going to go into chaos, and we can see why. We see him destroying actually the faraway tree, and then that's when the boy in white tells him to stop.
Break up. Stop!
So this is really interesting. Hopefully the boy in white tells him more information. Going back to those images of Bacta, Jim, Tabitha, and so on, we see the calm before the storm. They're sitting there having a meal, trying to maintain some normalcy, but we all know that in From, normalcy is a thin layer just waiting to be shattered. And then bam, we can see Boyd ringing that bell again. And I imagine that it's gonna be like, hey, playtime's over, we got another crisis on our hand, and Boyd has to be like, hey, we have to look for everyone. He is holding the talisman, so he may be telling them about how he found that and about hope, maybe. So the town has to come together to find Fatima again.
Fatima is missing.
Before all of this happens, we get another image, and that is of Elgin going to that root cellar because, hey, he's going to be working with her for whatever the lady in the kimono has in store.
She's afraid.
I'm trying to protect you.
Before that, we also have the scene with Elgin saying he's trying to protect Fatima, which is like, Elgin, you're you're crazy, dude. But yeah, I imagine that this episode we're gonna be spending half the episode watching different groups search for Fatima in all the wrong places. We have their creepy root cellar, but the interesting part about this is that we see Julie and Tabitha. They see one of the children and she leads them to the root cellar. Either way, it feels like a trap. The town or whatever entity is controlling it is using this search for Fatima to manipulate everyone, pushing them to a specific location. Maybe not the kids, but for other people, I imagine.
What is it? She wants us to follow her.
And they go to the truck that Victor was hiding with her back in season 2, and Boyd and Elgin, now the lady in the kimono, saying quiet to Fatima because, as we know, Julie and her and Tabitha are gonna be outside, so the lady in the kimono don't want them to find her. We also have another images of Donna, and I imagine before the searching, we're gonna have a conversation between Boyd and her. We also see Donna crying, so maybe it's about Fatima. She loves her. They have a strong connection since season 1, if you remember. Now she knows that Fatima's missing, so maybe she's gonna be thinking that Fatima is dead, which brings us to that image of Boyd talking to the town as well as to Ellis about, hey, everything's gonna be okay, we're gonna find her. But the funny image about all of this is the group. I imagine that's gonna be split, and we have the duo between Ellis and Elgin, which is so funny because, as we know, Elgin is the one that has her hidden, and Elgin's gonna step in, offering his help, his support. It's a classic, routine about hiding the real answers. Other image that we have is Jade, because this image of him at the bottle tree, a new one that he's building, is interesting. He's obsessed with finding answers, and he's talking with Henry, so maybe Henry's gonna go to him to, I don't know, look for help, or maybe they're gonna as well search for Fatima, but I don't see it happening. But here we see Jade talking with him, and it's like the town is playing with him, holding this Chinese mysteries, while everyone else is searching for Fatima. So I'm looking forward to more of Jade. So those are all the images. Now episode 9 looks like it's going to be a lot of setup for episode 10. And the synopsis for episode 10 is time begins to run out for someone he loves, and for like Boyd. So I imagine they're not going to find her. Now we know that Boyd is going to bring everyone together again, but we see what he's going to tell them. So that's interesting. So that's the trailer. And also we see Julie and Randall having like an attack, so something's happening with them. But that's the video for today. My name is Christian from Being Premiere. I hope you enjoyed this preview, and I will see you in episode 10. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye, everyone.